fucking moving.
The humidity, oh, it's incredible. I'm going YouTuber mode for like 2 minutes and I'll be back for the session.
Don't worry, I'll still be here.
What's up? Just real quick shout out to Profile Racing for hooking me up on one of these Z-coasters. I've been on this thing for probably 3 months now. This is probably my 4th time owning this hub. I have a love-hate for this hub, so I'll just put that out there. It's a very specific rider for this hub. The reason I like the hub, or the reason I went to the hub, was so that I could do the cassette tricks, the tire taps, have the instant engagement, and then also have a free coaster, because at heart I just belong on a free coaster. This is like the best of both, or it's supposed to be the best of both. This is probably the longest I've ridden one of these for. I usually ride them for a month or two, sell them. I have 45 degrees of slack in the cranks, so it's like a quarter crank, not even a quarter crank, just shy of a quarter crank, and then that disengages it. That's with the 28.9. You have to get used to it for a long time before it's like makes sense. You move your feet more than you think, and so you're constantly disengaging this thing riding. So you have to really focus on, if you're gonna do a trick that requires you to have pedal pressure, like a tire tap, you have to really keep in mind of like where your feet are. So you drop in with your feet, tension on the chain, and then you just don't move your feet, because if you back up a little bit, you risk disengaging. There's different spacers or different degree spacers that you can put in the back that would make that more or less. Less would be kind of crazy. More would be cool, because then you could ride it mainly like a cassette and then backpedal like a full crank almost when you want to disengage it. I almost like instant disengagement. So like I want to pedal at something and then I set my feet and do the trick instead of having to do like a full back pedal. And this was great. This was a lot of fun. I've gotten used to it now, but I don't use the cassette function. The reason I bought it was so I could put the cassette ring in it and ride it like a full cassette, and I don't do that. I have no desire to do that, even though I should, and I really wanted to. With that being said, it's cool when you can do those tricks. Like I just did a tire tap bar spin on this earlier, and it's cool to have the option to do both. I also really like the clicking noise. I really enjoy hearing the noise, kind of gauging my speed off of the sound that my hub makes. I don't know, it's in my head a lot, so I like hearing that it's engaged. It's nice that you kind of have an idea of if you're still engaged before you do tire taps, so you don't just go up there and slip. I haven't slipped. It doesn't engage on me when I don't want it to, because there's a ton of slack. I really want to like it, and if you want to do the cassette tricks and then switch it to a full cassette to ride park, this is awesome. Like if you are a park guy that wants to ride a little bit of street and do some fakey stuff or whatever occasionally, then you can take that cassette ring out, and now you have a working coaster that you can still do your cassette tricks on. So it's great for that. For me, I don't think it's necessarily the hub that I should be on, and this is probably the 4th time I've said that now on video. I like that it's lightweight. I like that you have titanium options for it. There's like no other free coaster style hubs out there that you can get this light. There actually are some that are like getting pretty close to the weight of this, but if you run this all tie, it's gonna be lighter than any coaster out there, as far as I know. But yeah, so I'm gonna ride around, get some clips, and kind of show you that you can do both with. It's expensive too. It's not cheap. It's a nice product. Profile doesn't make cheap things, so pretty much matches the Elite front. So I like it. There's definitely people out there that would shred on this thing, that would love it. I think if you just like to not think about it and you just want to ride your bike, either just go straight cassette or planetary hub, or I had a Vocal Hitchhiker hub that I can't say enough good things about. That was one of my favorite hubs. I just want to try, I like the clicking noise, and that's really why I went with this, so it could feel like I was on a cassette. I like the instant engagement. I don't like slack. My Vocal hub, I could do that. I had almost instant engagement. I just made like horrendous noises and it was pretty light actually. But yeah, that's my review of the Profile Z-Coaster. I don't even know what they go for, $500. If you have the extra money laying around and want to experiment with it, it's a lot of fun. It's like another task while riding your bike, which adds another challenge to it, it makes it fun. And like I said, you can do a ton of tricks with it, because you have the best of both, the cassette and the coaster. For park riding, it's perfect, because you can land in a transition and then backpedal as you're rolling up to the next thing. You don't have to worry about taking the one crank you have space for and then not being able to disengage. Anyways, thanks for watching.
Gross. You're not even going to be able to tell. Actually, you're rolling actually pretty fast for a 3-tap.
Super shitty. I really like the hub, I really do. It's a ton of fun. If you have the money and can afford one and want to at least try it, like, they're sick. It's so dope. It's like a whole nother learning experience within bikes, which is what makes bikes fun, is the difficulty. It's cool, it's different, definitely different. But I do think I'm ready to be done with it. Like I said, love-hate for it, and I think it's time I go back to what I know, which is like a traditional free coaster. But actually, I'm gonna do the Alienation Planetary Hub, so I'll have a review video on that after like a month or so of riding it, unless I just love it in the first couple weeks. If you want another hub recommendation that I used to run, the Vocal Hitchhiker is awesome. As far as a free coaster for the park, it's so sick. It does have like a little play after a while, and it does make some pretty obnoxious noises, even right out of the box. But I've never had any problems. I've never got it. Even with the like most slack, like the large slack ring, it's never engaged on me when I didn't want it to. Like, I can pedal pressure crank out of stuff with that better than I can on this one. And I have a review video on that from forever ago that I'll link in the description. That's my review on the Profile Z-Coaster. Thank you again, Profile, for hooking me up on that. All the other Profile stuff that I ride, I love. Profile stem, Profile sprockets, and cranks. I'm not on the cranks anymore, but the crank, because you just can't get them. But all their hubs are good. If you like cassettes, Profile's by far the way to go. Coasters, but it looks like we're about to get rained on, so I'm gonna call this here. See ya.